Hello, and thank you for watching this video. I am Goedeke, and I am so excited to be your student's 7th grade ELA teacher this year. So let's get started. So really quickly, just a little bit about me because I think it's important to know. I am married, and I currently have one fur baby. He is a greyhound. So in my spare time, I foster rescue greyhounds. And then on my professional side, I attended the University of Minnesota for my undergrad. And now I currently am getting my master's degree at Concordia in St. Paul. I'm studying curriculum and instruction for literacy. So that's really exciting, and I'm getting to apply a lot of what I am learning. I also I have a little Texas state icon here on the screen because Texas has a special place in my heart because that is actually where I started my teaching career. So this is my second year at Chippewa, and before that I was teaching for 4 years in Texas. I taught 7th grade ELA, reading, and ESL, English as a second language, when I was there. So to move on to talking about our course, English Language Arts 7 is a really, really exciting course to teach. I absolutely love it. We focus on reading, writing, critical thinking, and creativity, and we try to focus on problem solving. We do this by providing students with access to a variety of texts, different genres, topics, and levels. And we do this so that students have opportunities to authentically practice and use the skills that they're learning in class. So we believe in giving students whole texts, such as books, especially emphasizing students' choice in books. Speaking of books, independent reading is a really big part of English in 7th grade. So we do this every day. There is independent reading time built in. So students are expected to have a book in class every day. They've already been really good about this, so I've been very impressed. I do have quite a large classroom library, and our Chippewa IMC library is fantastic. So students will be getting plenty of practice in selecting books for them that are interesting to them and fit in some way with our current units. And then also we work a lot in 7th grade on selecting books for yourself that are challenging or that stretch you as a reader. So it is important to note students should be reading at least 20 minutes at home every night. That is basically their homework in ELA. So we don't assign homework to them unless it is, unless they were absent or they, for some reason, didn't finish the work that we did in class. Their only homework for English Language Arts would be their independent reading outside of class. Do encourage your students also to use Google Classroom as a resource even for independent reading. I have a virtual bookshelf that I update pretty frequently with recommendations, and I absolutely love recommending and talking about books with students. So our units of study in 7th grade, we take a thematic unit approach. And so what that means is our units have different themes that we try to center around with all of the reading and writing, speaking, and listening activities that we do. So right now, currently, we are in our empathy unit where we're focusing on making inferences, and students are asked to kind of focus their independent reading on a book with a character who is different from them in some significant way, whether it's diversity, lifestyle, whatever it is. So that's empathy. We have a unit next called characterization, and this unit's really exciting because students basically look at a mentor text. We have a mentor text called Take the Mic, and it's a collection of short stories about young people and about diverse voices. So in this unit, students will be looking at how characters are developed and how they use their voice in each of those stories. We have a unit, a dystopian unit, in which students actually are in book clubs, and they get to choose from a wide variety of dystopian texts, and we focus a lot on theme, finding the theme, since dystopian texts can teach us so much about the world, about how the author sees the world. And then also we focus a lot on group discussion skills. Now that will definitely be interesting this year, what with hybrid learning, but I'm up to the challenge and we will make it work. We also have a narrative nonfiction unit. Narrative nonfiction just means true stories, things like memoirs or biographies. But during this unit, we encourage students to select a narrative nonfiction text that tells a story that involves a topic that may be of interest to them. Oftentimes it ends up being a social justice topic, which leads to some really good research and discussion. We also have an author's craft unit in which students pick and use their own independent reading books as a mentor text, basically, and they almost treat their book like a scavenger hunt for different techniques that authors use. And then they actually get to try to mimic those techniques in their own writing. And finally, we will have a mini research unit that kind of piggybacks off of our narrative nonfiction unit. Students can choose a topic to research. Often it is, or it might be, a topic similar to the book from their narrative nonfiction unit. So course materials, we use Google Classroom for basically everything. So students do need to have and be able to access Google Classroom. They're all doing that really well so far. Everything is organized really well in Google Classroom, and they are already pretty professional at that. I also do ask that students may bring headphones to class, because there are times when there will be short videos offered for students to work through at their own pace, even in class. Our course calendar is housed on Google Classroom, and it is kind of the one-stop shop for students if they are absent, or if they, or even when they want to check what we're doing for the day. So every day has links on it. There's a link for the lesson plan, which is a doc, and then I upload the recordings of each class that students can go back and watch. So if they ever miss class, I do ask that that is what they do. In ELA, grading is very similar to how students were graded in 6th grade ELA. So we use an equal interval grading scale, meaning that we don't do points for assignments. Students get A, B, C, D, mastery, proficient, developing, or beginning. And we follow the rest of the school in terms of 20% of their grade is practice assignments, such as check-ins or just class assignments. 80% of students' grade is made up of performance, which would be a summative assessment, a project, or a paper, things like that. Then, though, however, this may be a little different. We also put feedback into the grade book, and feedback will always say not for grading underneath it in red. It usually shows up in red for students. So this is when I will go in and grade something in the grade book and actually put it in, score it, but it doesn't count towards the student's final grade. It's just a really good way of giving feedback, maybe on some daily class assignments or exit tickets that students can get feedback on and see how they've done, but they can kind of, even if they do poorly or if they're practicing or trying out a new strategy, it won't punish their grade. And then finally, I'll be in communication with you all plenty throughout the year. I do send out email updates at various points throughout units, especially if there's a big project coming up or something to be watching for at home. You can contact me, however, anytime via email or phone. Email is preferred just because my phone is set so it will not ring from outside phone numbers during the school day to avoid interruptions, and I can get back to you more quickly, usually via email. However, do feel free to call at any point as well and leave a voicemail. I am absolutely thrilled to be your students' English teacher this year, and I already absolutely adore my students. Thank you guys for all you do at home, parents. Thank you, students, if you are watching, and I will see you in class soon.